Welcome everybody to the Comedy Pop-Up Podcast. If you'd like to catch us at one of our live shows, April 24th will be at Rush Street in Culver City, and April 26th will be at the Ice House in Pasadena. For more information on tickets to any of these shows, please check out our website, comedypopupla.com. All right, let's start the show.
Hey, what's up, party people? This is comedian Ron G, and welcome to another episode of the Comedy Pop-Up Podcast, man. Today we got a great show, and I'm excited for the people we got. That was the longest yawn ever. First of all, not only did he yawn, but he tasted like an old person. You know, old people yawn, and they tasted like, Like, he yawned and, and tasted it. That's freaking hilarious. That being said, let me introduce my friend, man, one of our first guests. Friend, brilliant writer. I had a chance to travel with this guy. You might have seen him on Coming to the Stage. He was a finalist on Stand Up for Diversity. And you might have seen him on The Big Chop on HBO. Ladies and gentlemen, show some love for Chinedu Unaka.
Yeah, thank you, live audience.
He's so dumb. Why was that yawn so long, dude? That was hilarious.
Man, you know, traffic can get you. That's a 4 or 5 yawn.
Cool.
That's a layover.
It's so hilarious. All right, next up, man, in the building, man, we got a comedy legend, like legit. I done seen, like, this dude has been on some classics, like legit TV shows that have changed the culture, man. Very proud to have him in the studio. Y'all don't stop laughing? Was that you? Oh, okay, all right.
I was laughing. I was laughing at my own intro.
You might have seen him in Don't Be a Menace by Drinking Your Juice in the Hood. The Jamie Foxx Show. He's currently on the Zen Diaries of Gary Shandling, written and produced by Judd Apatow. Also, he's been a writer for Saturday Night Live, The Tonight Show, and he currently has a documentary on dying laughing. Ladies and gentlemen, start clapping right now for Suli McCullough.
That was good. I like the list of the credits. That was good.
That was
like,
awesome, man.
Yo,
you got real credits, though.
I do have.
No, you got real credits. Most time we have people on the show, and we like got to make up. We like, okay, cool.
Like
so you
I see the Big Chop on it.
I was like, well, I've never seen that show.
So it says here, comedy potluck at the Comedy Store. It says here, comedy pop-up.
Right.
You did 2 tours at Denny's. You were at the Denny's on Crenshaw.
This dude just quit his day job.
One of my tweets have 10,000 retweets.
You might have seen him on Instagram, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
That is always weird to see. Is it weird to like see the evolution of comedy? Because like you've been in LA for a while, man, and like your class, you like Chris Spencer and like
right, exactly.
Alex
Chris
Thomas?
went to Alex Thomas.
Yeah.
Chris Spencer, Jamie Foxx, Sean Wayans.
All y'all the same class? That's crazy.
Like we would all do spots at the Laugh Factory. It was me, Sean, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all in that class. You know what I mean?
That's so crazy to see that. Because even me now, when I first got to LA, I remember who used to host at the Laugh. That's my reference point. Who used to host at the Laugh Factory on Chocolate Sundays. And now that I'm the host, and I'm watching like these young cats host now, and it's like doing their first impressions. I'm like, man, because everybody's moved on. Like Chris Spencer was a host when I first got there. And now watching him do EP of TV shows and stuff. Like Chris Spencer's literally the mayor, which is your class. Right. And I'm like, it's crazy to watch. And the fact that social media's a thing now. Like cats are headlining comedy clubs with no material but 1 million followers, and it's amazing to watch.
Right. Yeah, the business, the game has totally changed.
Yeah.
Like when we first started, we were lucky because, you know, Damon Wayans was in the clubs, and Keenan was in the clubs, and Jamie Foxx was in the club. Like, you know what I mean? Tommy Davidson and Martin Lawrence were still in the clubs.
Comedy gods, man.
Yeah, I mean, dudes that are the biggest things in the game. And that was the guys that we learned from. You know what I mean? Like we would watch them like, yo, these dudes are monsters. Like I saw a show at the Comedy Store upstairs in that little room that it was Martin and Tommy Davidson going back to back, right? And they were so strong and powerful, dude. And they weren't getting their shot yet.
Yeah.
So I was in the club starting out watching these dudes. It was like, yo, you gotta be that good?
Right. That's intimidating.
Like, I mean, and they were punching so hard. Like I just talked to Tommy about this. And I had to tell him, like, that's my
reference point.
That's my jumping in point.
Yeah.
And when I think back about,
you see these fools in it, like,
you know, and when I think back about like how long I've been doing it, to see that back then, that was the bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which, that's a hell of a bar.
But you're at a good time where nobody's ever seen anything like what y'all brought to the TV. Like Def Jam was such all these cats been doing comedy 10, 15 years, and then they get on TV and they were monsters.
Right.
Our generation is a little different. Like Chinedu and our generation, we got to be good at so much other stuff than just stand up.
Right. Absolutely.
Like Chinedu is a writer.
Absolutely.
You have to do Instagram. You got to learn how to cut, edit videos.
Right.
You got to be a director. You got to learn how to do sound.
I build houses. You gotta do it
But
all.
you know what though? I think that's
But you have to
great
be
for.
good at so much other stuff
I
besides
think that's
just
great for the business because you can't just be defined as one thing. Like I was lucky. I started out as a stand-up. I kind of got a little acclaim as an actor, so more people knew me as an actor and didn't know I was a real stand-up.
Yeah.
Which was good because they would go, oh, I seen that dude in a movie or I saw him on TV, I'm gonna go see him. And then when they go see you, they leave like, yo, that dude's got skills. So you don't lose a customer. You know what I mean? You actually gain a fan.
Yeah.
I think it's good to be able to do everything. Like I write and produce a lot, and a lot of people don't know that. A lot of those opportunities came out of acting stuff. Like when I was an actor on Jamie Foxx show, when Jamie Foxx's show stopped, Jamie started hosting a lot of, award shows. Like, he hosted
The ESPYs and a bunch of stuff,
the ESPYs twice, which, I was a head writer on that. And, he hosted the MTV Awards. And, so an acting comedy relationship opened up writing opportunities.
Yeah.
And, I just seized it. So then it led to other jobs as a writer. You know what I mean? I wrote on George Lopez's show. I wrote on The Tonight Show. Wrote
so
on
awesome.
SNL. Like, those are real writing credits. You know what I mean? And so I think it's good to be able to do everything. You know what I mean? Because that's what the business is. Like, if you are just presenting yourself as one thing, you got one shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And I always tell young cats that comedy is discovery for me. Like, as much as I love being funny, comedy is discovering myself on stage and talking about it as I'm living it.
well, I think with the longer you do it, the more freedom you get to really explore what it is for you.
Yeah. Because before,
You know what I
it's
mean?
like, I got to get a standing ovation, which was cool. But then it's like, I have really specific thoughts about this issue, and this drives me nuts, and I need to get it out so I can become and talk about this. Because I remember the time Chinedu was actually my buddy, man. We went to Vegas one time, and it was like 4 of us.
Yeah.
Me, you, Sid, and maybe Justin.
Was our DC?
It might have been DC, and we all went to Vegas and had guest spots at this comedy show. We just crashed this comedy show,
Right.
And all of us performing. Everybody got a standing ovation.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And
They were lit.
for us, it was
You guys
so
are like
amazing.
superheroes.
But for us, it was so amazing because in
My
LA,
turn.
you get treated like trash so long.
Absolutely.
And you don't realize how
Absolutely.
dope or how funny you are until you travel.
Right.
So when we got to Vegas, we was turning up and we was like smashing. Everybody was like, where y'all come from? And we like,
Right.
it's my birthday. We just
Right,
having a good time.
right,
and we
right.
had such a great time. But again, it's really dope. Like, that's what comedy is discovery. Because again, like, you don't know how special you are until you leave. You leave LA, but then you got to leave LA to get treated like somebody, but then come back to LA to redefine your success and your fame because this place is where it is.
Right.
You know?
Well, yeah, that's the thing is like when I came up as a stand-up, it's like you definitely had your bets. It's like, am I going to go all in here or am I going to go hit the road hard and make a name for myself and do it like that? And you see there's a ceiling to making that second choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you build it night by night, but you don't have an opportunity that can change your whole situation.
Yeah.
Like, that's here.
That's social media, though. Social media,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well,
either
Now-
in
now
Hollywood
it's
or social
different,
media, yeah.
I mean, well, social media is great just because you could build it.
Yeah, you can build it the
from
way
your
you want to
living
build
room,
it.
wherever you
know what
are
I mean?
now.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I think it's great.
It has changed things, but when it comes to stand-up, it is a different thing. Like a lot of times, social media people probably don't think about stand-up. It's usually
No.
probably a rep that's telling them,
Yeah.
we could get
You need to
in
get on
these
stage.
clubs.
Those days we're talking about, hey, my heart is Instagram.
Yeah, because they come to they,
Well, you know what's funny? It kind of reminds me of what happened in Vegas with moving away from live performance to club DJs getting all the money. You know what I mean? You go to clubs now, like Tiesto and those dudes are killing it because they can put 1,500 people in a club 2 nights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is more than what you're going to put as a live performer. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it just makes more sense. So that's why that social media aspect they're like, oh, cool, they already got this many. The people will just come just because.
Yeah, it's not even
You know
about
what I
I want to
mean?
come and see a great show.
It
Now
ain't-
it's
exactly.
more, I just want to meet this guy, get a
Exactly.
picture, post
Yep.
on my own page.
Yep.
That's all it is.
It's
man.
more of
Just for
a
the gram.
it's-
Some
yeah,
guys come
exactly.
to 10 minutes up to the show's over. Like, all right, cool.
Dude,
get this picture.
it's an appearance.
Yeah, it's
That's
an
really
appearance.
what it is.
That's really
Yeah.
it's a book signing.
Yeah.
And is it weird to think this? But I always thought that particularly your generation had more camaraderie than my generation. Like I feel like a lot of you guys had crews and y'all came up together. Like
Right.
looking at Jamie Foxx, Alex Thomas,
Right.
and what's my man name?
Daryl Heath.
Daryl Heath. Like
Yeah.
all like with
Who-
certain crew.
Let me tell you something.
He's such a
dude.
monster.
Let me
Shout out
tell
to
you
Daryl
something.
Heath, man.
Yeah, I'll shout out Daryl Heath
Yeah.
all the time, dude.
He is so
all
brilliant
the
to me.
time. He is hands down one of the most gifted, like, comedy minds I've ever been around.
Mm-hmm.
And like I had a Vegas time with Daryl too. When we drove out to Vegas and just laughed and did care. Like that dude is the real. Like I was lucky, man. I came. Like we were all tight. We supported each other. We pushed each other. Like that's what Don't Be a Menace was.
Yeah.
We were all friends, dude.
It's all
We were
my heroes in
friends
one movie.
Making a movie, trying to make the funniest movie possible.
Yeah,
Like that's you kill for a situation like that.
absolutely. But
You know
that's
what
what
I
I was saying.
mean?
Like our generation seems like a single man sport. Like
Right.
everybody on their own. And maybe along the way they might pull up one or
Yeah,
two
you
people,
might
but
one or two,
I feel like
yeah.
your generation was just different. Like you said, Fox allowed you to help him write on the
Right.
show. But
right.
I don't know. I just feel like our generation is just, we don't do that.
Yeah, I just think it comes with just maybe opportunities being less and more, like the opportunities kind of decrease in a way, but there's way more comics too. I think during their
That's
time,
very true.
It was a boom.
That's very
You know what I'm
true.
saying? It was
Yeah.
brand new.
Yeah, it was that black
Yeah.
comedy renaissance. Everybody had a
Yeah.
TV show too.
Stand-up
Yeah.
comedy was social media. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was
Right.
brand new. It was the thing to do.
Well, I
And
also
so,
think
yeah.
too the way comics have broken out, and you've got a lot more comics representing the everyman.
Mm-hmm.
It also makes everyone think they can do it.
That
so
too.
they're running
Right,
to
yeah.
it more. You know what I mean? Like
So
they're
like
just
what you're talking about, like watching Tommy Davis and all these guys go
Right.
up. It looked like
You can't
such a-
assume you can do that.
Oh yeah,
No.
exactly. Like,
Yeah.
they
And
were-
like I
they
said,
were
dude, like
monsters,
these
They were
dudes
comedy
were-
guys. Yeah.
But
This
some of the
was-
guys
they
being
were
pushed
monsters.
these days.
Yeah,
we
now you're like, oh, I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
Just because I do social media, I'm a comedian.
If you
like,
watch
you're not a
Netflix,
comedian.
there are specials on Netflix where the audience is literally not laughing.
Yeah.
And as a person, let's say if I didn't do stand-up, I would think, well, shit, I could do that. You know what I'm saying? I could
Well, I
do
also
that.
think
Anybody can do that.
Well, I also think like Netflix is great for what it does. It's a platform that gives people a platform to build their business bigger, which is always great. But the downside is they have to fill content.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of content. So they're gobbling up stand up, and a lot of people are putting out stuff that isn't special.
Yeah.
Like point blank. You
Right.
know what I mean?
And it's business, you know.
And it's business.
The money's
it's
on
like,
the table.
yeah,
you take
I mean, yeah, why wouldn't you?
100%.
You know, if you get an opportunity to push your
100%.
career forward, take it.
100%.
But if it doesn't make an impact, maybe it's not special.
Yeah. So
You know what I mean?
In your journey, what do you think is it one thing that's changed your career the most? Was it the Fox show? Or was it the writing on the TV show? Or it's all just sowing seeds toward a bigger cause?
Yeah, I think it's all part of the process.
Yeah.
You know, it's everything has done something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I love the way I started. I started in LA doing stand up. So,
And are you from here?
Yeah, I was born here, but I grew up in Northern California.
Okay,
So, you know, I claim NorCal even though I'm from here.
Got you. The Bay Area got a dope comedy scene too.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was great.
really
And
dope.
I started here and then started getting a little bit of heat and then, you know, went up there to do spots.
Yeah.
So I feel connected to
like
both.
Cat
you know what I
Lunell,
mean? Yes,
Rodney
exactly.
Perry, Joey
exactly.
Wells, yeah.
I mean, you know, like I said, I came up in a good time. Mark Curry was killing it.
Right,
you know,
right.
Joe Torre was a monster. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there was Ricky Harris. You know,
Yeah,
like there were monsters out there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? DL was still in the clubs, you know, just, you know, he was killing it. You know, Northern California, the Margaret Cho was still in the clubs. Like I remember we did, like I came up in a really good time.
So my question
know?
is, how do you keep your head right? Because out of all the people I've met from your generation, you seem to be very grounded and your head is right. And there's a thing that comes along with success and basically disappointment because LA is the most humbling place on the planet. Like where to the point where if I do something really cool, I almost forget about it. I just do it and keep going. I don't like, this gonna change my
that's
life.
the smartest way to.
This gonna change my life. Like, no, I'm
That's
like,
the smartest
this
way
is
to
dope.
dude. That's
but
the
I keep
smartest
moving.
way.
How do you keep
That's
your
the
head right
smartest-
with all
that's
this
the
stuff?
smartest way to deal. Like I always felt like you could have a killer set on stage. The second I walk off stage, it's over.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like, I cut it off.
Yeah.
Like, that didn't mean anything. You got to do it again. So, for me, knowing the difference between performing in the moment and shutting it off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's part of it.
Yeah.
You know, I've also been lucky, dude. I've worked with a lot of different people, and you see, you know, they say this is a marathon. It's a marathon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Straight up. And so you can't get too high or too low about any of it. You know what I mean? Like, that was a lesson I learned as a writer on The Tonight Show. You know, like, I got, you know, it's an interesting story because, you know, when we first met, and, you know, I was around when you were first getting your first break on comic strip
Was BT?
No, after BET, the NBC show.
Last Comic?
Last Comic Standing.
Yeah.
So that's when we first met.
Yeah.
Because I was producing the final episodes. They brought in some writer producers to create content for the contestants. So we met back then. I worked on that show. Right after that, they were looking for a writer on The Tonight Show, right? And, you know, Barack had just secured the nomination, and executive at NBC was like, we should probably have a black writer on staff.
That would really help.
Since we're about to have a black president, right?
Yeah.
So they went to the diversity department to find a black writer. No black writers in the diversity department.
What?
None.
What do you mean you don't have a name?
So then they went to some writers on
counterproductive.
staff.
So there's all white people in the diversity department? That's what we're doing? Guys. Not even a token one?
But that just goes to show you like how real it is, right?
Yeah.
So they go to some writers and go, hey, does anybody know any writers? A writer on staff. A black guy, preferably on time.
I know a writer with
articulate.
how do I say this? What, wearing Jordans?
Yeah. Not too black, though. Not nose ring cornrows, but
Right.
like more,
Right.
you know,
Somewhere
between Urkel and...
not Tupac, but Carlton with maybe a couple less sweaters.
Caramel Maki Negro kind of
So
Tall,
one of the
please?
writers, right?
Tall?
One of the writers, right, goes, oh, I know somebody that would be good, and recommends me, and I'm producing Last Comic Standing. So I literally, while I'm doing that, go meet The Tonight Show, right? And they have me turn in a page of monologue jokes and make sure I'm not crazy. You know, they vet you, but that opportunity. That turned into that opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, that turned into that opportunity from that.
Yeah.
So, you know, my point to the whole thing is you don't know how it's going to come. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And most of this is so random anyway. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, it's so random.
Preparation and position.
Yes, exactly.
Most of this is
exactly.
business.
So by the time you get that opportunity, you can seize the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was going to ask you this, Chinedu, because like a lot of people don't realize, as much as people see comedy like, yo, and say I can do that, they don't realize how hard it is, the transition from having a day job to actually doing comedy full time.
Yeah.
Like, or just surviving out here.
And
like,
you
you're
know
LA
what it
guy
is?
too,
Not
but
just working in an environment that you know is geared to getting you.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, being a professional to me, you know, Chris Rock said this a long time ago. He goes, yeah, anybody can kill in their environment. Go somewhere where they don't
Well, they don't know you.
know you or
Yeah.
care about you.
Yeah.
Right.
Prove it.
Talk about your transition from, because I remember when you and I first met, you were a school teacher.
Yeah.
And then we talked about doing colleges, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I did like 100 colleges.
Yeah,
at college
I
comedy
remember that.
year.
I remember that tweet.
My life fell apart. Like, it was amazing. Like,
I was like, I just booked 82 colleges.
yeah.
I remember the
My
number.
money was amazing.
Sure.
Traveled all over the world. My friends
Sure.
stopped calling me because I wasn't home. Every time
Sure.
I date somebody, by the time I got back home, they would be with somebody else.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Right.
energy be a little
Right.
different. Like, what
Right.
I missed? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
We need to talk.
Yeah. I thought
Why are you sitting way over there?
You don't want to hold my hand?
Why my blanket smell like
Ron,
this?
see, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Ron.
Why are
So
all these
weird.
weightlifting magazines around the apartment?
I'm saying, who Jordan slides are these? These ain't my slides.
Right.
Who wears a size 13? Wait a second.
Whose slacks are these?
First of all, she messing with an old man with slacks.
All right. So I've been stealing my ties.
This man done stretched out my basketball shorts. Whose shorts are these?
I don't wear cufflinks.
Right. But talk about the transition from being corporate to actually like fulfilling your dream and being a comedian full time.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, because while you're chasing that dream and like still balancing a job, right? Mm-hmm. You're pretty much like working double time, right? So you're trying to make money to pay the bills because your dream isn't paying the bills yet, right?
It's easy to be funny when you got a full stomach.
Facts, right? Or it's easier, right? 100%.
Yeah, it's easy. Health insurance, but 401k. Oh my god,
well, man, them students would take the energy from you.
Yeah.
So I needed a nap usually before. Chinedu, what's wrong, man? You ain't talking to nobody. Just let me get on stage.
Yeah,
right? You'd be exhausted, but while you're doing that, I was lucky enough because my job had enough downtime where I could still work on the things I needed to do in entertainment while kind of on the job. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to like work really fast and get what I need to do for the job done and then use that extra time to do things I needed to do for comedy.
Yeah.
And so that was a blessing. 'Cause a lot of times other jobs, it's like you have no time to do nothing else, right? So that's why I was able to balance the job and comedy for so long.
Yeah.
And then when I started doing shows, college shows or touring with people, that's when I was able to leave teaching like fully and be comfortable with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and I had to, because when I got an agent, auditions was a daytime thing.
Of course.
So I really had no choice. Like I had to leave. Yeah. Because there was no way I was going to be able to do both energy wise. It wasn't a life to live like that.
And what was your takeaway from doing colleges?
As far as like the crowds and how good?
No, just what did you learn about yourself? Because for me, I became a stronger comic by doing colleges because
comics.
I had a lot of those noon shows where they only come for free pizza.
Yes.
And you don't have no warm up.
Yeah.
They don't care
cafeteria.
About the quality of microphone.
Yeah.
No, they may not have a microphone.
They might not have, and you got to perform for an entire hour for Middle America,
right?
With no opener and
during the day,
Fisher Price wireless microphone.
Yeah.
At lunch.
Yeah, at lunch.
So I was used to doing colleges because when I started stand up in college, and so. I would put on shows. Like I'll call my frat bros and they'll put on shows at their campus and then I'll go and perform for the school and they'll pay me to go out. Right.
Sure.
So I was just doing college, but even those college shows was different than like the college shows you do on the road because those ones are still conducive to comedy. They have a mic, a stage.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
and you know who you're speaking
properly.
to.
And a lot of times
you're talking to people that are into you and get it.
100%. And so when I started doing the regular college shows were like the daytime,
right?
The Catholic schools or like deep in the South,
right?
You know what I'm saying? That was it wasn't like hard. I wouldn't say that, but it was different because there was no host.
Yeah.
There was nobody. The person introducing you is super shy. Hey, next week a comedian came down.
You say your name first?
Yeah.
Right. So Chinedu.
Yeah. And then
all terrible hosts say your name first. That drives me nuts.
He's standing right over there.
Ron G and Chinedu Unaka. He's been on.
Yeah.
He's from LA by way of.
Right. He just got on campus. And he's got a shirt on that we're not used to.
Give it up for him. You got people studying the front row.
Right.
But that made me a stronger comic.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because you couldn't just go into your stand-up. Like I remember the Mooney Twins one time I was doing a set. It was like, yo, man, we could tell you're a really funny comedian, but we don't know if you're funny. Like we were talking about like you go on stage and you do your material. Like you never just talk to the audience. I was like, oh, I didn't even like notice that. And so I just started doing that too. And I used to watch you like go up and you all used to like make fun of the room. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, okay, let me try to, doing stuff like that. And like, it just really makes you more free and the audience enjoys the shows more. And I think colleges is great for that because if you don't do that, you're going to swim anyway. You got to be your own opener.
Yeah,
I don't do no jokes until like 15 minutes into my set.
Right.
College students go nuts.
Why burn it? Why burn it?
Yeah.
College students go nuts when you find out what's happening in the city or on campus and you say it while you perform. They go like, how does he know that?
How do you know about the piece of shot that the kid died at?
Brilliant.
Right.
Yeah.
You know
and sometimes
about
those
George?
can be your biggest laughs.
Yeah.
And you're just like, but that's the thing that they connect with.
But they so sensitive, it is hilarious. Like,
I'm sure.
I had this, I was at some college, I forgot where it was. I think it was in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And this football player started heckling me. And I was like, man, I wish you went that hard on the football field so y'all can win some games the same way you going off with me right now. And everybody lost it because they was like,
nobody ever shuts down the athlete.
Yeah. And they just went nuts. I couldn't even finish my set.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, oh, he said it out loud. Dude,
Yeah.
Do you still do a lot of colleges now?
No.
No. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What's funny is when you get grown and your content changes,
Yeah.
it's hard to do colleges. My
It's
set
very
it's
difficult.
not relatable.
Yeah.
Because
Well, because you're talking about real life.
I was doing those show. I was the Black History Month comedian.
Yeah,
So,
I was
every
that too. I
Every
was that
February,
too. Yeah.
my calendar was packed.
Yeah,
but it'd be
right.
like freshmen who just got to school, it just left their parents 2 weeks ago, so they haven't
Right,
lived.
right.
And so my set
They've
now
never
is just
paid
grown in
rent,
life.
they've
I'm
never-
talking about gentrification and
Yeah,
racism
sure,
and
sure.
heartbreak, and they have
Sure.
not. They still on a meal plan. They don't
Right,
know
exactly.
what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, he's so angry. Like, no, I'm not angry. This is life.
I've just lived.
Yeah, but that's a weird, sad reality that happens when
Right.
you get to a certain place. Like, I'm too grown to be doing colleges.
That's so funny, dude. I used to do this
he's never
bit.
too grown because of money, you know?
I used to do this bit about being the only black kid in class during Black History Month because I grew up in Silicon Valley, right?
Yeah.
And so I did a NACA, and then they booked me as the black comedian during Black History Month.
Of course.
And they sent me to Minneapolis.
I don't think I've ever been
In
there before.
February.
Sounds white.
Yeah, very white. Where the Mall of America is.
Oh, okay.
And,
yeah.
I just saw it for the first time
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Overrated.
It was
Is it really?
February.
I was like, just shocked.
Sounds so like the mall. This is the America's Mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
really?
it's big. It's big.
It's huge. It's like,
So it is America's Mall, maybe.
it has some huge, it's not even the shops
Like,
that makes it the
yeah.
mall. They have like
16
an
air
amusement
apostles?
park
Yeah.
inside of the
They
mall.
got it's a lot of walking.
Bunch
So
of
a lot
air
of stuff has
apostles.
nothing to do with shopping. You're like, well, I came here to get some stuff.
Yeah.
I got the same shops. All
That one February I spent in at the Mall of America, I got to know it really well. Like, 1 week I was there. I think I went every day to the Mall of America because there was nothing else to do and I was cold.
Yeah. I bought $70 of beef jerky. That's all I got from it. I found a beef jerky spot. They had
Yeah.
40
sure.
different flavors. I
I
was
feel like
lost
they
my
came with
mind.
like 3 white
Yeah.
girls.
I was like,
and a pending-
yo,
pending
I can
case.
taste. You can taste them all.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my God, he likes beef jerky. He's one of the good ones.
I
Right.
was like, ring it up.
That's the
Ring
test.
It up. It's
Prince loved beef jerky too.
But he got barbecue flavor.
good. I'm good for it, baby. Ring it up.
That's funny.
So funny. Good, man. So for you transitioning to writing, was it just a natural progression?
Well, it came out of Jamie's show, so yeah, like the opportunity.
Did you write on his show as well?
I didn't write on his show. I was just an actor on his show.
That show's underrated, man. Jamie Foxx
It's
show?
very
Of course.
underrated. You know what's cool about it is I love the way that Jamie worked back then because what we would do is we would do a scripted pass where you would do
As is. Yeah.
and then we would
Jamie
do
do
a
Jamie.
second take where it was just a wild take.
Yeah.
Where whatever happens happens.
And which one did they keep?
how-
Yeah, how many times with a
And which
wild
one
take,
did they
use the
keep?
one that they kept?
I would say is
Like
about
80%?
I'd say about 65, 70.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but that was a chance to just go.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we would improv a whole scene and take it somewhere else. And it was dope too because like Garrett Morris was on that show.
Garrett's great, man.
And Garrett
I'm
is
telling you, Martin.
yeah, right.
Bro, the whole cast, yo.
And he was so like everybody was dope. Garcelle
Yeah.
was like it was dope. Sherry
Yeah.
Shepard played my girlfriend. Like E40 was my cousin. On it. Like it was it was a
That
great show.
No one talks about that show.
That show is
but like the show was up there with everybody else.
And
man.
and like I said, we were hungry, dude. Like
Yeah.
literally that situation, Jamie. I did one episode the third season, half the episodes the fourth season, and then all the last season.
Yeah.
And it was just like I was like, man, how come I couldn't get on the show earlier? You know what I mean? Like it was
Yeah.
great. There was so many cool things that happened. Like Bobby and Whitney came down one night
Yeah.
and just hung out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we all went to karaoke. Like it was crazy, dude.
But that's one of those shows and black culture is hard to graduate from.
Oh,
My
for
man
sure.
gonna be Braxton
For
forever. I don't care
sure.
what he
For
do.
sure.
His name is gonna be Braxton. You know
Hey,
what I'm saying?
dude, my
'Cause the character
daughter's
was
in
so-
college now, right? She goes to Spelman. So when I go to Atlanta, that's all I hear is Mouse. Hey, Mouse, what you doing in the mall?
Right.
Like, I'm Mouse forever.
Yeah, this one's culture. Like once your
Yeah.
name was, once you solidified your face as a character in black culture, that's it.
Yeah,
Because the black community, we disrespectful.
Yeah.
No, we just, you know what's funny?
Hey,
Is
Urkel,
we just,
you like Nick?
hey, we like what we like. You know what I mean?
Hey, Carlton. Like,
Real talk.
Hey, dude, do
We
you
just like
know
reminiscing,
how
that's
much
all.
I hear Crazy Legs now? Like even
course.
like all the time.
Of course.
All the time. And sometimes it's good, and then sometimes
I'm with my kids.
yeah.
Man, don't act like that, Mouse.
Right.
Come on, crazy.
Come on, Mouse.
Oh, you gonna be like
Mouse
that,
is
Crazy
mad.
Legs?
Mouse is mad.
All right.
Mouse is upset.
Oh, he too cool.
Oh, you an angry mouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Mouse
too
got a
cool.
beard. Look at him.
Yeah, they make you feel guilty.
Little facial hair
you
changing.
Too cool, huh? Oh, all right.
Oh, Mouse acting like a rat. Oh, he mad.
I apologize. What's your real name?
Right.
All right, my bad, Mouse.
Yeah. Yeah, but you cool though. You cool, Crazy Legs.
That's so funny. That's dope, man. So what was it like working with Judd Apatow on
Well, this was different, man, because I was friends with Gary Shandling. I did an episode of the Larry Sanders Show in '97. We became friends. He had a Sunday basketball game. I played in that for a long time. We started writing together. I helped him with his stuff for Comedians in Cars, which ended up being one of the last things that he did. We were writing a TV show idea at the time, which was really cool. So that's really about a friendship with, arguably one of the best comics to ever do it. I mean, that dude was, he was a genius, you know what I mean? But like also spiritually grounded and was
His
a
work
mentor
ethic
to a
is
lot of
ridiculous.
people. Yeah, mentor to a lot of people. So, Judd Apatow, he gave Judd his first directing job on the Larry Sanders Show. So he's, has that vision enough to be responsible to, give us Judd Apatow, you know what I mean? And a bunch of other people that he mentored. So, that the documentary, which is on HBO now, chronicles his life, and it's a must watch. If you care about comedy and want to know the right way to do it and just want some gems for, looking at your own life, I highly recommend Judd Apatow's documentary. It's a great piece of art.
Yeah.
And a great there's so many teachable moments to any artist.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to be an artist, just, to be a better human being.
That's dope.
So if you're tuning in right now, you listen to the Comedy Pop-Up Podcast with your host, myself, comedian Ron G. In the building, we got my man Chinedu Unaka and Suli McCullough, man. I'm going to change gears just a little bit. And
I was about to do Crazy Legs just so you have it on your podcast.
You should. You want to do it now?
All right. Hey, this is Suli McCullough, a.k.a. Crazy Legs. Yeah, I got a dream.
Doctor said I'm not going to walk again.
People dress up as Crazy Legs for Halloween.
That's so funny.
That's to this day.
You can't touch this?
And they send me, tag me the pictures.
Do you search the hashtags every now and then? You're like,
Sometimes I
get
do.
bored.
I'm
let
not-
me search
sometimes
crazy.
I do. Sometimes
you get
I
mad
do.
when you see crab legs and shit. Like, can y'all stop hashtagging these
Come
crab?
on, yeah, it's Crazy Legs. Sometimes I'll send them a little something. Hey, my man, it's Crazy Legs.
Crazy Legs.
Let's get it right.
So what I wanted to say is most people don't understand how segregated and the lack of diversity is in LA. Like in general, it's hard for a lot of black or African American comedians to get into mainstream spaces. It's really hard.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
the dope part about everybody at this table is everybody in this circle is a part of the 1% that got in.
Absolutely.
Because literally everybody here has gotten in on mainstream nights, and which you don't see a lot of our faces.
Sure.
Do you feel like there's a certain obligation when you go on stage in those rooms to perform at a certain level, or you take it as this is another spot for me?
No, I'm definitely cognizant of like how hard it is to get in those rooms for people that look like us. So I never take it lightly. Like I'm on time.
Yeah.
From running late, I let them know. I make sure to have a good show. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to, make sure I don't mess it up for the next person who's trying to get in. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of thing. There is that pressure on our shoulders, and I feel that pressure. So even like when, I remember like some shows I used to perform on, not even like clubs, but like even some like these like all nights. Sometimes, when you perform it on and you notice like you're the only black dude on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would make sure to make sure the material is sharp. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a competition. I got to make sure I have the best set of night, but I just want whatever I do on that stage has from start to finish nonstop laughter.
Yeah.
So there's no he's just that type of thing. So,
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Because it's hurtful when I go to some comedy clubs and there's a list of like 40 comedians, and I see like one black person who has a bunch of TV credits, and the other one be like maybe 2 girls.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm like,
it is what
in
it is.
this time we live in now,
You gotta be twice as
it's
good.
unacceptable.
That's how it is. You gotta,
Right.
you gotta be twice
Unacceptable.
as good a lot of times to to get a shot. And so when you get that shot, you gotta make sure you don't mess it up.
Yeah, and I personally want to do well because I want to open up doors for other people of color.
That's what
who
it's
come to
that's
do it
what
for
it's
me.
supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like doors. I know for me, doors were opened up for me. So that's just the way I roll.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I want to see other sharp minds getting their shot.
Yeah,
And that's all it is. You know what I mean? It's like, just give me a shot. Crack that door open so
absolutely.
I
That's
can
how I
get
feel.
that
Like,
shot.
yeah, give me a shot too.
Right.
Let me mess up if you doubt me.
Right.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and once you get that, like the opportunity, you don't have to. A lot of times, you have to wait till you're on a certain aspect to help others out. Like I started, the whole comedy kickback show. Like,
Yeah,
a lot of people on the shows, they're no namers.
they're not the popular ones, but they
Exactly,
still dope.
people don't know,
Yeah,
but
they get
they're
down.
still funny. So you just giving cats a shot because just putting the love back into the community that helped us out is that type of thing. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
I have the same opportunity at Chocolate Sundays all the time. Like when I'm hosting,
Right.
and I see young cats that's like trying, and like not just because I don't like consumers. People like, hey man, put me up. Like
Right.
I don't know you.
Right.
I don't see you in the streets. Because when you work enough around people and you actually working hard and you in the trenches, you see these people and you make friendships with them without the whole, hey man, put me on.
Well, it happens. It happens in a very real way, and you're all like we're all working to be our best selves.
Yeah.
On stage and off. Hopefully, you
Yeah.
know what I mean.
Yeah.
But literally, this is the one thing that we can all control is
Yeah.
what we do on stage
Yeah.
and how we present ourselves, and So I'm always trying to swing for the fences.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you were saying, you're giving yourself permission to explore ideas and stuff. Ultimately, that's going to make you grow as a performer because you're taking risks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, the obligation is definitely there. Like when I was at the Tonight Show, there were 18 writers, 15 white
Jeez.
guys, 2 women, and me.
Oh,
You know what I
man.
mean? So, and it
You
was
had to bring it.
every day.
Had to bring it,
Every
yeah.
day. You know what I mean? Every single day. From day one.
Yeah.
I was there for a year every day. I would get up at 4:30, start watching the news. By the time I got to the office, thinking about what I was writing. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was no joke.
Uh-huh.
And I already had success as an actor, but that didn't matter as a writer. You still got to bring it as a writer.
Yeah.
And it was funny, like there would be times where I'd be there and like, Will Smith would be the guest. And so everybody would be like, yo, that's the biggest dude in movies. And he'd be like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? Like our kids grew up together.
Yeah.
And people at the job would be like, well, how do you know Will Smith? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like I literally was the black writer at the Tonight Show.
Right.
Even the dudes in the band were like, man, black dudes don't stay here long. Don't get sick. Like
yeah.
but because it's so rare we get those
Absolutely.
opportunities to provide content and be a voice.
Yeah. So, question: What does it feel like to be the only minority situation, knowing that you're doper and smarter than everybody else, and you got to kind of be quiet? Because, like, I've had opportunities where, example, I booked a TV show, and there was no black hair and makeup. There was nobody on set, and this lady started putting gel on my hair and spraying it.
Right.
And she didn't have a wave brush. No, black folk, you gotta have a wave
Yeah,
brush. on.
sure.
She didn't even have one in sight.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? And started she started brushing my mohawk forward. And I had that moment of, should I be an angry black man and tell her to stop, or just shut up and wait on till my star gets bigger and then speak on myself? And so my approach, what I did was, I didn't say nothing. I said, please don't put gel in my hair.
Right.
Whatever she did, she's like, oh, you look great. And I'm like, thank you. They
Right.
did my makeup, and I went to my dressing room, and I cut my, I brushed my hair and stuff like that. And have y'all had moments like that where you just feel like
Oh,
you
absolutely.
don't have a voice on set?
But what you were saying is interesting to me because you're proving the point that you can't in this business leave things up to other people.
Yeah.
And so often, just like in the clubs, as a trailblazer, you have to come as complete of an entity in this game, because if you let her do your hair, you would have looked crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ultimately, you look bad, and you can't afford to look bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why as I move forward in this business, I want to control more aspects of this. You know what I mean? Like that, like I would get a haircut beforehand. You know what I mean? Like I was that dude. Like I can't.
I know that now.
Yeah, exactly. But but you learn that by being in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have to remember this game is not set up for you. You know what I mean? Like it's perceived opportunity, but that opportunity is a lot more limited. So you have to just come in the game with a very sharp blade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And control all aspects. You know,
how
like
you
all
mentioned
those.
you can't be late.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing. Like I do not want to be the one guy that's late and I'm the only black guy on set.
Exactly.
That can't happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you're then giving him a yeah, see, this is why. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Michael would have been on time.
Yeah.
Michael's never late. He's terrible, but he's never late.
Because whether you want to admit it or not, it's not going to be an individual thing.
No.
It's going to be like,
No.
It's going to be a group.
You people.
So
Yeah.
it's
You guys.
It's the same thing as like, being like
Loud.
like not like a black guy going to like an all white college, right?
Yeah.
A lot you hate to be the representative of a whole group, but that's just the way it is. So you got to act accordingly and make sure you're putting your best foot forward, not just for yourself, but for the people that's trying to come, behind you. So
And you're offended and you have to like decide whether you want to be.
you gotta be cool.
Yeah.
And it's your business, too. Like this is our brand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so why do you want your brand to be sloppy?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Did y'all have that word in comedy? Like that now there's such a word that's getting
Brand is such a word right now. We didn't
drives
have
me
that.
so nuts.
We didn't have that.
I've never said that word out loud. My brand.
I mean, I said it because it made sense in the context.
I genuinely hate that word.
Oh, I'm right there. I just said it because it made sense in the context. But yeah, I mean, there are people like, yo, dude, you don't have a brand. Last time I checked, this is a bringer show.
You have 7 followers. You don't have a
What's your LLC?
Right.
the pressure of a brand. You're working on your brand and your image. You like stop.
Hey, could you not
Why don't you work on your jokes?
I got $4 in my account.
Forget these jokes.
Right.
In
I'm
a
gonna do
hot
10 minutes
7
of my
minutes
brand.
material.
Right. My jokes are terrible, but my brand is fantastic.
I did 10 minutes of my brand up there. You see the outfit?
The engagement with my core fan base.
I hired a website consultant.
Loved your brand.
Right.
Oh my
was
God.
it funny?
The brand was clear.
Your brand was amazing though.
The jokes.
Where's your brand performing next?
We actually had like an improv for 7 nights.
I genuinely hate that word, man.
That's the game.
Your brand is woke.
Yeah, I mean that's yeah.
He said,
That's a whole like offended thing too. For stand up, that it's interesting because like I feel like when people are offended online, it is genuine, but then also on top of that, it's like for some people their brand is to be offended.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So
Sure.
they go out, they wake up and they search for what's the popular thing to be offended by today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then
they
service that. Yeah.
So in a way, it feels like ingenuine too at the same time. So it's kind of weird.
Well, you got to know your move. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if that's your move,
you got to roll with it.
roll with it. Let me ask you this.
I'm laughing because the word that drives me nuts when I hear people say this is like, I've lost all respect for you. What does that mean and how does that hurt? I can log off right now and never think about you again.
Exactly.
Like,
right.
Do you get a lot of people that come at you these days? Like, do you find like on social media? Like, do you find you get more resentment for just expressing ideas right now? Like, how open is the lane for you right now?
It just depends, man, because most of the stuff, I feel like racism is breeded on social media. Like
absolutely.
That's the birthplace of racism. So for me, a lot of my comments, especially like I try not to look at comments because I did Last Comic Standing, which was a very unique time. And people were like, this is amazing. But I looked at the comments. It was so hurtful. I'm like, wow. Because the episode I did, there was this group, this 2-person comedy duo. And they were like fake Christians. And that was their whole shtick. Like, we're fake Christians. And I'm the only Christian on set. And when the cameras cut off, they were like, I said, you guys are Christian? They was like, nah, man. They voice changed. They was like, nah, we do this because whatever. And it was like, I don't even believe in God. And it was like, this is what we do. And I'm sitting here like hurt, like mad, like
Sure.
Yeah. So they had this segment on Last Comic Standing where we were doing this fake boxing in the ring Jonan session.
Yeah.
So I got the gloves on and I'm going in like I'm not even on stage, but I'm like in the back, acting like Muhammad Ali, like, y'all don't want none, whatever. And they cut that to make it look like I'm the arrogant black guy talking to the group, the guy who was the duo of the Christian duo thing. And so when people saw it, they were like, how dare you? I hope you go to hell.
Right.
You're the worst Christian ever. And I'm sitting here like...
Which is the worst because you're like, I'm the real Christian.
Right. And I was hurt because they had the confessional booth.
Yeah.
And they was like, how do you feel about so-and-so? And I was like, well, honestly, I'm a little hurt because they're using my faith as a joke.
Sure.
I'm like, if you do that about any other faith, Judaism or Islam, like, it's going to be a problem. But I said for mine, and they was like, Ron, you can't say that because it doesn't work with the edit. And I was like, what do you mean? And they was like, because they didn't show that part on TV.
Well, they already knew how they were going to edit it?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
They were
wow.
like, you can't say that. And I was like,
you gotta watch out with those shows.
Yeah, because I didn't know.
So
and
it's
it
like
hurt
you
me.
learn,
So
but that's the thing is like when
reality
you
TV
at
ain't
that
reality,
stage,
bro. But the comments were all, you fake Christian, I hope you burn in hell.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm the only real Christian on the show, but nobody knew that. And it like really messed me up for a while. And I was like, okay, check that. But now it's like we live in a time where, especially in black culture, there's only like one person that's hot at a time.
Sure.
So people don't have a reference point. Like for every white comedy, there's a reference point for every kind.
Sure.
So for me, because I'm high energy and I talk fast, they're like, oh yeah, he trying to steal Kevin Hart's swag. And I'm like, no, I'm not Kevin Hart.
Right.
But to somebody who's never been to a comedy show, they're like,
in the mainstream world, that's what they know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's what they know.
Or even kids, because kids never
mainstream know for comics.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They literally know for
But even kids, they've never been to a show, so the only reference point is Kevin Hart clips of Instagram. And they're like, oh, he's like Kevin Hart. He's high energy and talks fast. And I'm like, no, I'm not him, but I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. Like, I keep going back to The Tonight Show, but that job was a great barometer for knowing what middle America knows.
Man.
So if there was somebody black on the show, it was Will Smith. Or they had the #1 album in the country. You know what I mean? Or it was Halle Berry. Like, it was only the most A-list people. And other than that, they just don't know.
The ones you can bring home?
The ones that can go anywhere.
Maybe Snoop.
Yeah. No, Snoop, yeah.
Yeah, maybe
for sure.
Snoop is
For
always
sure.
an exception.
Yeah, so but that was a great learning lesson for me that, okay, this is what middle America
Snoop can do
sees.
gospel and nobody judge him.
Yeah.
He's the #1 gospel album in the nation at this moment.
That's fantastic.
Nursery rhymes.
That's fantastic.
Chris for Christ. Like what? Chris for Christ.
You gotta love Snoop though.
Snoop is amazing.
Snoop is
great.
getting it
Snoop-
and has been getting it.
Snoop is
And Snoop can go this way
Or that
and
way.
this way.
I don't know how he.
I don't know how he does
it.
it.
He's a chameleon.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Snoop used to do Girls Gone Wild. People forget about
No,
that.
not me. I stayed up late watching Snoop with no shirt
Just
on.
a commercial.
Just a talk. Just a commercial. Volume
just a
1.
commercial.
Volume 1. Waiting for that.
But
commercial.
wait, there's more.
Watching BET
Act now,
Uncut.
we'll give you 2 videos.
I was listening to Deep Cover Snoop today, and I was like, this guy
Yes, I don't know how.
now
Snoop is.
has
Snoop is
hosting a
amazing.
game show. I
Hey,
love
my
it.
favorite Snoop was Baby Boy.
Oh, yeah.
I know this ain't Lil Jody, and he had the baggy wife beater.
Yeah.
How you got on the baggy wife beater? And why's your nipple hanging at the side of the wife beater? What is happening right now?
That foul. I love Snoop.
Snoop is the
Snoop
greatest.
Snoop can do no wrong, man.
He can't do no
Snoop is the
wrong.
greatest.
Snoop possibly murdered somebody.
What you say?
Who cares? It's Snoop.
There's a strong possibility.
You gotta give him a pass. He's
Snoop has some bodies.
Yeah, Snoop is the greatest.
And we just we just gonna ignore it.
like literally he invented gin and juice.
Yeah.
If you ever say gin and juice, like Snoop invented that.
Yeah.
That's how
right.
cool and
Right.
talented Snoop is.
Yeah, Snoop is on another level.
Your talent can overcome most.
That's where you want to be in life, where people are like, man, come, and then all you do is just go, okay, listen to the Chronic. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay, we forgive you. We forgive
Right.
you.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, good, man. So listen, we heading toward the end of the show, man. First of all, I want to thank you guys for being on the show, and we're not done yet. This is one of my favorite parts of the show, where I ask you guys questions, and you tell me what you think, and there's no right or wrong answer. And
I thought that was a joke.
no.
Oh, isn't that
very
what's been
specific
going on?
question.
You've been
'Cause-
asking us questions?
Oh, okay.
No.
These are,
But I ask you specific questions.
sounds like the
Because on this
guy.
show, we pride ourselves on not small talking. So I'm going to ask you specific questions.
Cool.
There's no right or wrong answer, and you can answer in whatever order. First question. If you could do coffee with one person, dead or alive, who would it be?
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X. Why?
Just because I'd be able to say I had coffee with Malcolm X.
Sounds great.
Yeah, that's why.
Hopefully not at Starbucks.
Not at a Starbucks.
Yeah.
No, we will not be at a Starbucks.
He was waiting on Malcolm X. Get out of here.
You get out of here. You will not
He was
meet
waiting on
Malcolm
Malcolm
X.
Malcolm Luther King is not even around anymore, sir.
Right. We're going to have to ask you to leave.
Coffee? I mean, probably a relative. I never met my grandfather's.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably.
Oh, so you can just have
Both of them?
Yeah, sit down with my grandma.
Little reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little family reunion.
Because my dad's dad, he had like 3 wives. I just found that out.
Turn up.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah.
A lot of questions.
That's a lot of talking.
grandmas.
A lot of talking.
A lot of grandmas.
Yeah. So yeah, I think one of my grandpas for sure.
Yeah, 4 grandmas total.
Okay.
It's a lot of grandmas.
I only know one. All right. Man, I hope I didn't kiss the cousin out there.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I don't think I
disgusting. You did have to take it down that dark road. That was
I had to.
uncomfortable.
That's
I'm
not
weird. I
dark.
feel weird right now. I'm uncomfortable. Hashtag this awkward. I'm just playing. All right,
Look
cool.
alike. Did I tell you that?
You so dumb. Hey, question. So, what smell or sound reminds you of home?
Smell or sound? Probably peanut butter. I always got peanut butter in the crib.
What?
I'm a big
Peanut
peanut
butter.
butter. Yeah, peanut butter almond butter.
Is that your house or your parents' house?
My house?
Your
my
house.
parents' house. Oh, goat. The smell of goat. Yeah, either cooked.
Can you press a button? I need a button for that. That is the most African thing you can ever say.
Peanut butter and
best-
goat,
smell of
everyone.
goat.
And peanut butter.
Yeah,
Goats and peanut
either
butter.
like dead or cooked. Like, cause my mom used to go out to the farm, bring back
A whole goat? An entire
ice
goat?
chest of like cut up goat, bloody everything. We had to carry it to the house and in my
Fudge,
bags.
man.
It'd be smell. Our clothes would smell for a week, and she'll put it in the freezer, and then she'll cook.
That
it
is
up.
so African.
Yeah, it was always goat.
Being from the South, I've never even
Goat's delicious.
seen a goat live.
Goat's like meaty. It's like meaty chicken.
It's like meaty chicken.
Yeah,
That's your reference point.
yeah. It's like meaty
That's
chicken.
Extra African.
It's like that. You know what I'm saying? It's that
Yeah.
that texture.
Yeah.
You
gamey.
had goat before.
Gamey.
Yeah.
Of course you have
Yeah,
goat.
sure.
You've been around,
Come
man.
on.
You didn't have
I've
goat.
done some things.
Are you
you've
Caribbean?
been around.
No.
Okay, all right.
No.
He's
A
just
little-
regular black.
With a little bit of Indian.
Okay, look,
Yeah.
cheers.
Eating at the fine restaurants.
Yes, just to.
You used to write for the Tonight Show. You had some
Right,
goat.
exactly. Hey, Jay Leno's treating
You did a little
everybody to goat
traveling.
today.
Come on now, brother. I see the jacket.
Have some goat.
Yes, I'll have your finest goat, please.
Ryan, you've been around the world. You ain't had no goat yet. Come on, Ryan. Open your horizon.
I'll have
I heard of curry goat, but I never tried it.
some goat stroganoff,
You will
please.
love. You know what's funny? You will love goat. You like oxtails, correct? You over here judging my goat. You over here eating ox.
Curry goat.
Those are sacred Native American animals.
Your finest spaghetti and goat, please. You have a goat juice smoothie? Is that
Do you have these goatios I've heard so much about?
Goat's delicious.
Gummy goats?
The smell of goat, man.
Finest goat cartilage?
Yeah, the smell of goat brings me back for sure.
Goat and peanut butter. What about you, bro? What smell reminds you of home?
Smell reminds me of home. This is weird, but 70s car exhaust smell reminds me. I'm the oldest of 7, and we used to
Pollution,
have. We used to have this Pinto, which is the most dangerous car a big family could have.
Yeah.
Like them Pintos that used to explode. And I remember we used to all pile in the back, and it would smell that old exhaust smell inside the car.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that reminds me of my brothers and sisters.
All your brothers and sisters, they good in terms of like mentally.
For the most part. Now that you think about it, now that I think
could be
about
the
it, we
cause.
are.
That's all I'm saying.
Like, I'm a stand up. My brother's an artist.
He got a dead eye, but he's good.
Yeah,
The
right.
exhaust smell.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay. Yeah.
That's so funny. All right, I'm gonna squeeze in another question. What about if you could eat one thing for
Other than goat. Other than goat. Goat is off the table.
I can't even get the question out. I'm sorry.
Eat.
Goatios? No.
He's on my eyes. Like, you eat one thing, I was like, you know my answer.
You know I got goat on my breath.
Thought you said this was a good question. What was your last dinner in jail be? Well,
Right.
you already know. Goat
Peanut butter
stuff.
and goat sandwich.
That sounds delicious.
A little brazen goat, please.
So dumb.
Oh, that goat sounds delicious.
Hey, man, goat's good.
I am the goat. All right, if you could eat one thing for the rest of your life and not die, what would it be? Mine would be Cinnabon. Is that Billy? Is that Billy?
Billy, is that you?
Billy,
We've been looking for you. We hungry.
what's up, Billy?
One thing and not die.
Yeah.
And
Mine is Cinnabon. I love Cinnabon.
can I pick two?
Go ahead.
Chocolate chip
Please don't
cookies.
say goat. I'm like,
Chocolate chip cookies. And French fries, man.
yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah. French fries. What,
You
from
can't,
where?
you can't
from
die
where?
from goat.
From where?
Goat's actually good for you.
No, not goat.
Of course
You
it
can't
is.
die from goat. That's
Well,
why I
my
choose-
answer's goat.
That's why I choose goat. You can't
French
die.
fries.
French fries.
I've got to have
From
more
where?
of this
From
goat.
where?
Dog, the most underrated French fries out there
Checkers.
is Wingstop. Wingstop French fries is
Yeah.
on point.
Okay.
Yeah, I've
And
had
this is not a
Wingstop
commercial.
fries.
Do
They're pretty good. They're pretty good.
It's not like the beginning of a commercial. And by the way, they have $9.99. Just
right. My old day job was
like
Wingstop.
Zaxby's.
Zaxby's.
You ever heard
What's
of
that?
Zaxby's? It's in the
Where's
South.
that?
Well, okay.
It's like a Chick-fil-A equivalent in the South, but it's so good.
Yeah.
You see it on
Okay.
the road when you travel.
You sure it's
Okay.
good, or you just rarely get to eat it that you think your mind's tricking you that it's good?
I personally like it better than Chick-fil-A. I'm not allowed to say that, but I do. Just how y'all crazy
Whoa.
about In-N-Out.
Are you sponsored by Chick-fil-A?
Like how y'all like about In-N-Out. You're like, oh my God, In-N-Out's the best thing ever. Like,
In-N-Out fries are really good too.
they're great.
Really good.
Yeah.
But because y'all were raised out here, it's a thing for you. But for me, I'm like, it's not that great. I get why you like it,
In-N-Out fries,
but it's not the
they're really
greatest.
good. They're really good.
Not denying it. But again, like I was raised with
McDonald's
Zaxby's.
is overrated though. Let's just be honest about that.
Who still goes to McDonald's over the age of 25?
I don't go. Well, I was saying this when I did go.
Okay, got you.
I used to work at McDonald's, so I take personal offense.
You wrote on
47
McDonald's?
movies ago.
right.
You bringing it up like it was yesterday.
I still go to I have a 13-year-old, so
Okay, yeah.
that dude, he's all about McDonald's.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have no
That's
choice.
the Friday meal.
Yeah, exactly.
Dang, I was a good kid this week.
McDonald's got great
Right.
branding. That's
Right.
why.
Great what?
Great branding.
Yes, they do. Their brand is very solid.
Who is Brandon?
Branding.
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 Just playing. Just
Branding.
I was
They
like,
don't sell goat though.
They don't sell goat.
No, maybe
in
they
Nigeria,
need to
in
add
Nigeria,
that.
they do probably.
I'm sure the
There's no
McGoat.
way you're
The
surviving.
McGoat?
The McGoat.
Let me get the McBilly, please.
I'll have the McGoaty nuggets.
The McBilly. All right, and
Make sure there's 6 this time.
all right, last question. We can head out of here. What'd you say? That 6-piece goat?
I said, make sure there's 6 in the box this
Right.
time.
You tried to
You gave me
jiff me.
5 last time. You're lucky I drove away. I would have beat your ass.
How dare you de-goat me?
Ignorant, man. All right, so last question, man. What advice would you give a stand-up, somebody listening to this podcast, and be like, I want to do comedy? What would you tell them?
Quit.
You sound like me.
Save your life.
Go to a career fair immediately.
Do you encourage people or tell them no?
I tell them no.
Really? You say stay
Because my
away?
advice is do comedy 3 times, then you can ask me questions. After
Look,
that,
I tell them,
They
them
never
don't
come back.
every time because if you really want to, you're gonna do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? My
Right,
mom tells me
right.
don't every day, and I
Right,
still do it. So
right.
you know what I'm saying?
don't have.
I mean, I tell people, I go, you know what's funny? I go, hey, I encourage everyone to do it.
Hell no.
Which is, I mean, I say that because I don't want to be the bad guy, but you will quickly know if this is for you or not.
Yeah.
But any specific advice you would give them along the way? Maybe they just started.
I would just say make sure you love it. If you don't love it, save your time because the love will sustain you. You know what I'm saying? Anything else
when
than
that money don't add up.
Yeah.
Right,
Anything else than
exactly.
that, you
Count
gonna
the
develop.
My
Yeah,
talent.
when you wake up and you're like,
Yeah.
what can I sell right now?
Yeah, the love. Yeah. 'Cause without that,
Plasma.
Yeah,
Goods.
right.
Goods.
I think, yeah, if you're gonna do it, know that you're on a journey and to stay open and opportunities.
It's a marathon. Call back.
It's a marathon, but opportunities open up. It's smart to see where they lead. At the very least, you're gonna learn something about it,
Yeah.
and just stay open. Stay open to the process.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And yeah,
I mean that's all I can say.
do social media.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hurry.
but work on your stuff, man. You know what I mean? So if your social media is popping,
Don't steal jokes.
have something. Yeah, don't steal jokes. Don't do that. A lot of the people that you're working with side by side, those are the people that end up helping define your career.
Facts.
So if you're stealing jokes, you're not creating relationships.
Yeah, everybody hates
You know what I mean? Like, be a dude that can move in the waters and isn't a problem in the waters.
Yeah. My advice is perform for people that don't look like you.
and buy a lot of watches.
I love watches.
Yeah, Ryan has a lot of
Really?
watches.
Yeah.
I
I love
never
watches,
see
yeah.
him say
Everybody goes through their watch phase.
But it's dope. I feel like you should always.
it is a phase. At
It's
some
not a
point,
phase,
you're
but
like,
I
how
like-
many watches do I need?
right.
I like dope ones. Like just like it gotta stand out. It won't be like, oh, cool, it's digital one. Like
I like that.
It'll be something you can't find.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
I like
Appreciate
that.
it.
I like that.
Cool.
I like to watch.
I was okay.
Did you just say I like to watch?
All right. So my advice is try to perform not only for your people but people that don't look like you.
Yep.
Always try to perform every day. If you ain't married, you have kids, you should be on stage every single day working on your craft.
Mm-hmm.
And like Chinedu said, stay on social media. Figure that thing out.
Only perform what you think is funny, man. If you don't think it's funny, you shouldn't be saying it.
I feel like you got to get it out to find out if it's funny or not.
But you got to think it's funny. You know what I'm saying? To even try.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen comics that, their act gets a response, but I don't feel like any of it is a reflection of them.
Yeah.
So
Posing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
'Cause
Like
I'm
you
saying,
can
like,
tell,
you're
you can tell a real joke that somebody's lived.
Right.
Yeah.
That is their
Love.
real perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's
You can
nothing
hear the
better than
Versus
that.
you watching
Yeah,
something, you're like,
exactly.
okay,
You
I'm
can
trying
hear
to
the
create
hurt.
this.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
My
you can
version
see
of
the
this,
you
yeah.
can see the bullet wound.
Like, ooh,
Yeah.
he been through something.
Yeah.
Go heal.
He cried.
Yeah.
Go heal.
Was that a tear?
Yeah.
Standing over.
Why your lip trembling? I would just want to say, women are a horse, and you can't trust them.
I once found love, and then it betrayed me. And I'm
my best
hurting.
friend, and I'm learning as a person. So listen, man. It was my best friend, and I lost 2 people in one incident.
But I still.
But through God who strengthens me, I am here tonight with y'all.
Through Christ, all things are possible, and I will bounce back.
Hey, I love that part that you said about religion. Oh, I don't really believe in that.
Yeah. I'm spiritual.
Well, I'm not. That was just an act.
So that being said, man, first of all, I want to say thank y'all for joining us, man. Chinedu,
Absolutely.
Anything you got coming up that you want to plug, and what's your handle?
My handle, my website, Twitter, Instagram is all Chinedu Comedy. So it's Chin, like your face, EDU Comedy. And then
And that's
also
where you can
have
go experience his brand.
also have a comedy album coming out, produced by Comedy Dynamics. The title is mostly kidding, I think, for now, but we'll see.
That's awesome, man. And he has a line of preseason goat.
Ralph's
Goat cutlets.
I have a restaurant.
Goat chops.
If you know a goat that you need to get off your hands, call me. DM me your address.
Like a salvage car?
Yeah.
We'll take it off your hands.
I breed goats.
Goat strips.
I like the boys.
He said goat cutlets. You so dumb, man. Goat cutlets. All right, what about you, Suli?
You can find me at Suli McCullough on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and all that old
Please spell that.
craziness. SulimCCULLOUGH. Suli McCullough.
Hashtag.
And see the documentary Dying Laughing. That's out. You can stream it. And then the Zen Diaries of Gary Shandling is on HBO. You can stream that also right now.
That's so dope, man. And I just
Yeah.
want to say, you two guys, man, y'all both like really good friends of mine. I appreciate y'all stopping by to join us. That being said, man, I'm your host, comedian Ron G. Please follow me, comedian RONG on everything, comedian RONG. Also, every Sunday I host at the world famous Laugh Factory Chocolate Sundays comedy show. There's a 7 o'clock and a 9:30 show. You can go to my handle, comedian Ron G, everything, and I'll post that. And we have a really dope show we do called the Comedy Pop-Up comedy show, which is, Paul, I'll let you talk.
At Comedy Pop-Up.
At Comedy Pop-Up.
At
Follow
Comedy
us.
Pop-Up. I did that show and I had a ball. It was
This
great.
show is so
It was
good,
great.
man.
It was great.
Really dope show around, I call it boutique comedy show.
Yeah, a
around-
curated comedy show.
Curated comedy
Yeah.
show around LA, man. Make sure you continue to do that. Also support Two Piece Podcast, another podcast I do called the Number 2 PIECE podcast. Really dope, man. Thank you for joining us, and we out of here, man.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
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 That's so funny.